Hey, welcome to channel14.com's Bodega Nights. The dark and gritty reboot.
Needs more bass.
So Instax released, what's it?
I closed my Facebook.
They released a new camera.
I think it's the Instax Wide 300.
Yeah.
I just saw it right now. And my pants is kind of wet.
His pants smell like bleach.
No, because I always love the Instax format. Like, I don't mind the small credit card size ones, but I like the large one, the Instax Wide 210, if I'm not mistaken. And I really like that one because it's a larger instant negative. And this time, they're gonna go larger.
The bigger, the better.
To the borders
That's what
of...
she sorry.
to the borderline large format. So if you know your photography, you know how good that is.
Yeah. I was talking about this with Army on the Sunstar podcast. If you're gonna take naked pictures of yourself, you better use Instax. Not that we're encouraging little girls to take pictures of themselves with Instax.
But we're encouraging more Instax use because, you know...
Because large format.
Instax. Yeah, Instax. Yeah. I hope this podcast... Because I want to have my own.
Is this going to make it on air?
Miss Marie, Fuji, Philippines. If you're listening, I'm talking about... No, I mean... but yeah, it's nice going forward. It's nice going forward because I really, really like what Instax is doing because the Impossible project has impossible prices. It's doing really well, but it's nice that, again, it's nice that it always has options.
Wait, the Impossible project is what?
The Impossible project is pretty much the revival of Polaroid film.
Okay, yeah.
But the Polaroid film itself, I mean, since they're gonna start they started from the ground up, so it's expensive as all hell.
Okay.
And you would understand because limited supply and basic economics. So that is pretty much your only option if you still want to use your Polaroid cameras for instant photography, is use the Impossible film. The other option that's readily available and can be bought anywhere is Instax. And with the large format, it's for me.
Fuji.
Sponsorship.
Endorsements.
Photography.
So, in other news.
Yeah, what is in other news? Oh, dude, we just watched a bunch of reduced Shakespeare, not the reduced Shakespeare company, but
which are also awesome. Maybe not. But yeah, check them out. Reduced Shakespeare.
Oh, I thought we were plugging Joem.
Yeah, but we're gonna plug our friend who's a six-time. No, we can't do that 6 more times.
Right, fine.
But multi-awarded Palanca winner.
He hasn't won a first place though.
Zing.
Was it he has 6 second places?
No. Yeah, he hasn't won a major one.
He hasn't won a first place, right?
Like, this year was extra weird because there was no first place
and there's no third place.
There was no third place. It was
just
second
sandwiched.
place.
Yeah.
How do they decide that? Like,
beats me. I only joined once. I only joined.
I'm sure.
Once.
I'm sure there's like this existential sort of discussion to be had here. To be in between two nothings, you know.
No, I mean, if you're between two nothings, then you're everything.
That's gonna be a running gag for the entire show.
it's funny. It's like there's nobody better and there's nobody worse.
So you're okay. That's pretty much you. He's a 6-time Palanca awardee. Okay, award winner.
But I'm sorry.
We love you, Joy.
This is our endorsement of you.
But yeah, our old university staged a bunch of those plays. Really interesting.
Not those plays, but like, you know, he's a teacher, right? He's a teacher. So like one of his activities is, bless you, gotta acknowledge that AG sneezed because, you know, we like to show stuff behind the scenes. It's third world Linux.
Is it gonna be?
It's gonna be in our documentary.
Is it gonna spike?
No. Whoa.
That's gonna spike.
Bless you, sir.
There you go.
Part of our autobiography.
What?
AG sneezing.
Wait, did we introduce ourselves?
No.
Excellent start to the reboot.
I'm Jal.
My name is AG.
And I am Norm.
And we were talking about Joem, who's not here. Yes. And we apologize for the motorcycle you might hear in the background.
Or any other motor vehicle you might hear in the background.
Because, these windows don't seem to have any,
soundproofing qualities.
Soundproofing qualities.
Do know that we're still in the third world. That's why we have shows like Third World Gaming, Third World Linux. All at channel14.com.
Check it out.
Plug.
Going back to Joel.
Shakespeare's plays.
What about them?
So we watched the 10-minute versions of them. So we watched 10-minute versions of them in our university. And
they're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
I mean, can't say much for the scripts because the activity was you take that entire Shakespeare play, right?
And abridge it.
And not necessarily abridge it so much as just chop it up.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if does that count as abridging, or isn't abridging like you take the you take the story and then you write it from the ground up but make it shorter?
That's how I understood it.
Yeah, because
but they have to maintain. They have to still use Shakespeare's lines, and it still has to make sense.
It has to follow the original plot.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then
not just the spirit of it, but it's entirely
like what he did was, or what they did was they just cut out a bunch of lines, pretty much.
Yeah,
they cut out a good 90%.
So shorten it to 10 minutes, parts. Man.
Yeah,
like the quotable quotes and the meaty parts.
There was that like the one Macbeth. I found that hilarious. It was because one of the most beautiful soliloquies ever written, I think, was "Is this a dagger that I see before me? It's handled towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee." Right? It was. Is this a dagger that I see before me? It is done.
Cut everything out.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
In the essence of time.
But it's worth noting that this came from there was a play called 15-Minute Hamlet, and that's where Joem got this whole idea.
Yeah,
that was a great play. I forgot who wrote it though. David Ives, I think it might have been David Ives.
Really?
Like one of those absurdist. Yeah, he was able to reduce Hamlet to one line: to be or not to be, stab. Sorry. Oh, and so speaking of books and literature and stuff, see the transition.
Smooth.
Yeah, smooth, right? We like to show our seams here at Channel 14. We have to comment on the fact that we did a good job transitioning. There's that meme thing. Does it count as a meme?
More of thing that people do on Facebook. I guess
like that viral thing.
Yeah, and I prefer that than someone complaining about his tea or something, or someone misspelled his Starbucks wrong. I prefer seeing this is the 10 books I really like that caused an impact, because you'd see it's 10 books. It's not just your absolute favorite. You'd see a diverse choices from different people. You see something Harry Potter, and then The Fault in Our Stars, and then boom, Shakespeare. That's.
What does that say about Shakespeare fans? Ooh, no, sorry.
Oh, it's The Fault in His Stars.
What was on your list, AG?
It's a bunch of photo books. There are some texts about photography. I think I included some of Zarkowski's writings on photography. I am not sure. I didn't think I include Susan Sontag because I'm not really a big fan of Susan Sontag's on photography. But aside from that, a bunch of photo books.
The Constitution's gotta be on yours, Mr.
Farthest thing from my list. The farthest thing from my list. Oh my god.
Yeah, and Harry Potter on mine. Yeah, book 3, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, that's the dark and gritty reboot of Harry Potter.
And it's really amazing. Even what I like about that is, wow, they suddenly grew up.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
Even with the movie, even in
the story just got real.
They grew up and they now got to wear casual clothing, not just school uniform.
The funny thing about Harry Potter books, and this was something that Joanne pointed out to me, that if you have a kid growing up, you can't give them all the Harry Potter books at the same time.
In one go.
It's a year age thing.
Yeah, it's like a yearly thing. I don't I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
How are you gonna do that? Like, you're gonna have to keep all the other books in a vault somewhere, so your kid can't, read it in advance.
I'm not sure, but because in the age of binge watching or binge consuming everything, people just want everything in one go.
Yeah,
but
that's why you have like Lord of the Rings. Like this is
The
this
entire
amazing
volume.
radio. It's like this big. Yeah. Going back to your question though, Norm, it's all about having a good bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have the Harry Potter
One at the first
like-
shelf. Second,
The higher it
you have a
goes.
7-stack bookshelf.
So as
The moment that you're like 6-footer that can reach the 7th book, because puberty hasn't hit already.
Once you hit your growth spurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once you hit your growth spurt is when books like 5, 6, like 7 or whatever, like those are the dark ones, the dark-ish ones, and those are the ones that can be read by like a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
God forbid your kid ever discovers stepladders, huh?
Well,
Massive ban on stepladders in this household.
Libraries with no stepladders.
But what are the other books in my list? My book list isn't really interesting, thus the lack of likes that it garnered. Except for photographers, they're like, oh, you like that book? Oh, what's this? So, because there are some obscure ones from zines to show, my indie cred. I'm just kidding.
People got the zines.
There's some stuff there.
Indie cred.
But there's some stuff there that's like, because the nature of photo books is they're mostly all of them are limited runs, like 300, 500, some are just 100. So
okay.
the way to view it is you really just have to go to YouTube and someone doing the flipping, a video of someone flipping the book.
Whoa, that's really trippy.
Exactly.
Whoa.
So that's how I consume some of them until I actually have someone, hey, I have a copy, you should check it out. I know you love this book. I'm like, oh, cool. And then when I copy again, my pants smell of bleach because it's so good. Because there's something really nice about just flipping a photo book. You could see the paper, the proper editing, just from viewing it.
At YouTube, full screen mode, print screen. Have a good printer. Contrary to law.
Because there's this one book that from one of my, I became friends with the guy, Davey Matt. His book, High Street, Low Street.
AG, name dropping.
No, it's just, anyway.
Plus
Name
5
dropping.
indie cred.
And guys, but it's his book about street photography. He took street photographs in Korea. So the paper he used was like Korean silk. Paper based on Korean silk or something.
Mhm.
So again, it lends credence or more thing about artist selection about the book paper choices. It's not just the images and the editing. It's quite interesting.
I would imagine that you're right. So, Norm, what was on your list?
I was going to make a list and I realized I don't really read much.
You should keep it blank.
I know, like Harry Potter 1, 2, 3,
Iliad,
4,
because I had the entire
Iliad,
semester.
Homer, everything in my college reading list.
What was it? The
The
syllabus for Renaissance literature. That reading made an impact on me. Yes.
classical lit. They're gonna have to come up with an indie jar for AG. Like every time he name drops, somebody has to give like 5 pesos down.
What for? To buy an Instax?
To buy an Instax White 300. Hello, Fuji. It's going to take a while.
Well, that's pretty much
Or not, I could just drop it like nothing. But hey, I kid.
No, he doesn't really kid, ladies and gentlemen.
He's just looking for an excuse.
But
Really.
He likes to
Java
name
has
drop.
like some interesting stuff. Like he had some C.S. Lewis and not childhood books.
Childhood
Not
books.
childhood books. What do you call that?
That's contrary to law.
Children's books. There you go.
Children's books there.
He had
Yeah.
Seuss? No.
No,
He had
no, no.
Seuss. Oh no, Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl, yeah.
Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl. I really wanted to have like all 10 of them be Roald Dahl books. Because that guy's like my favorite author of all time, right? But that wouldn't be fun, or that wouldn't be like
Like-worthy.
fun. Yeah, it would be like worthy, because I think Dickens was on there, because you gotta
Diversify.
Yeah, diversify. You know?
Then things that stayed with you.
Yeah,
You're
like
gonna have to make a
Jonathan
list.
Livingston Seagull, dude. That's like the old man in the sea, only
Yeah.
with a bird.
And for you,
Yeah.
Bald Soprano, I think, was on your list.
Yeah, The Bald Soprano, comma, and Other Plays by Eugene Ionesco.
I'm listening intently to figure out which ones I should read from you
Okay.
guys.
There was that book, The Linux Command Line.
Yeah,
amazing book.
Interesting. I was gonna like comment on that, but I'm just gonna talk to you anyway because we're gonna meet up rather than comment.
You should read that book. It's really good. Like I forget the name of the guy. It's released under Creative Commons as well. So
okay.
it's a free book. He takes it's a very light approach to the command line. So like
I've heard of it. I know it's not a technical tutorial on the command line, but more of like a philosophy behind the command line.
well, not so much because there's a lot of instruction.
Okay.
There's a lot of instructional stuff, but it's approachable. You know, like as I was reading to it, it's like, oh yes, it feels like, you know, that nice grandfather like telling me about the command line.
Because did it tackle like history of the command line or?
Not really.
There's an Third World Linux episode over there.
Yes, there is a Third World Linux episode here, and it is because I wanted to do like a Jao tries to explain the command line, and I was going to use that as the primary text for the episode. So there we go. Yeah.
What else were on your?
What else was on my list, dude? Fight Club, you know, of course. Fight Club.
It's in my movie list.
I don't have a movie list yet. Chronicle of a Death Foretold by Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Ooh.
Because of high school, we did like a movie as one of our projects. Like we adapted.
You adapted Mexican
Yeah, dude, like
magical realism. Oh god.
Yeah, but then like, well, the thing about Marquez is that particular book doesn't have the hallmarks of magic realism. The basic premise is, and it's pretty awesome. This guy who it's about this guy that everybody in the village knows that he is going to be killed by these two other dudes. And nobody tells him.
Ooh.
So that's like a really interesting premise, because he subsequently finds out that the girl he married wasn't a virgin, and so he says, "You're not a virgin," and throws her out.
Throws her out physically, bodily.
Excellent declaration.
He is slain. You know?
Abridged.
Yeah, that's a pretty good book, but like it made an impact on me because of kids from high school. Shout out to the high school kids. I was a kid then too.
Yeah, because the interesting aspect of that meme, per se, for me was, it has to be interesting. It's not so much for you to show off what you want, but things that really say, you know, made an impact.
Yeah, that was the point of it. Is these are the
Your
books or
memorable
movies
ones.
that partly make me.
Yeah, that's why in my criteria for the movies, what are the movies that like I wouldn't be complete without if I didn't watch them? That's why a bunch of them were movies I watched with you guys. Like Predator, Top Gun,
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz was in my list. But yeah, again, of course, it would have my most favorite movie of all time. It's just Stand By Me.
Okay, yeah.
I'm still waiting for somebody to have a National Lampoon movie in their list.
I don't have a national. I have a bunch of
Do you have a list now?
Huh?
on the movies.
Do you have one of the movies?
yeah.
List? What was on your list? I didn't stalk you on Facebook because I don't do that. I'm not like that.
You're gonna have to make me think again. I was like, wrote them down, forget about them. Hot Fuzz was a thing I remember because I watched it right after, making the list. It's awesome.
It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Fight Club was supposed to be there, but I thought, I have
Everybody
younger
would have-
audiences to think of.
Same reason that I didn't put like all the Roald Dahl books on my top 10.
Well, I put two movies in the same. Like I had Mallrats and Clerks on mine.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, you had Wreck-It
Oh,
Ralph.
dude, Wreck-It Ralph is
Wreck-It
such a
Ralph
good
was a good movie. Didn't touch me, but it's a good movie. What are the other? Oh, Love Actually is there for my list because like every Christmas,
Actually.
me and my sister and I,
Grammar.
my sister and I, that's what you get when you read books. My sister and I always watch Love Actually every Christmas time because it just makes us, it's a Christmas movie. And it's a nice thing that my sister and I do.
Like It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that movie? It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
As in La Vita e Bella? Or... No,
Like
Life is
that-
Beautiful.
That's a
Christmas
50s
movie.
thing. 30s black and white movie.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one. The one that you watch every Christmas.
Really?
Well, it's
I've
like a
seen it every
Christmassy movie.
Christmas.
Yeah.
No, but for us, yeah. For my sister and I's case, it's Love
MGM
Actually.
channel, I think.
Yeah, you should watch It's a Wonderful Life.
I should.
It's a pretty good, somewhat depressing movie.
Yeah, because the Burr months are beginning, we have to make a nod to Christmas.
Yes, 4 months of Christmas season, baby. Let's ignore Halloween and
4 months of
Oktoberfest.
traffic.
Oh, that's gonna be terrible.
What else is on everyone's
We really
list?
gotta move our airport.
Oh, speaking of airports,
This is a transition. You see, we have a
What?
transition. Wait, was that a transition?
No.
I hope so.
Yeah, because David Blaine just flew in.
And it's going to take a miracle for him to. That's a magic trick to get from the airport all the way to wherever he's staying instantly.
You can see I don't have any tricks.
How far
I have
is it
no
from-
chains. Our car still has a full of gas, but I will not use it. In that David Blaney voice.
Oh, David Blaine.
How far is it from my place to Makati? Would you know?
I wouldn't want to
I-
say because we know where you live.
But the distance, I'm not
the
particularly sure.
Yeah, I really wouldn't know. It's anywhere between like 20 minutes to 7 hours.
Yes, unfortunately. It can take. Yeah, it's accurate. Yeah, 20 minutes to 7 hours. It takes that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I get here from my place to where we're recording right now, 2 hours to 20 minutes.
Yeah, depending on the traffic. Oh
Yeah.
my god, the traffic.
Wildly random time estimates. I'll get there when I get there.
I encountered an article about like, I think it was in one of the newspapers today, like
Like,
worst
why it
traffic.
can't be saved?
No, like other like worst traffic situations that in Metro Manila, like worse traffic cases than what's happening in the metro right now. Like China had that 1 week traffic.
1 week traffic?
Like they were stuck in traffic for a week?
Yeah,
Whoa.
How? Okay.
because it's a mishmash. It's not one event that caused it. It's the main highway from some province to another province can accommodate like 100,000 vehicles, but 2 lanes were cut, so the capacity from 100,000 is just now 25,000. And then it became a holiday. And then the trucks were there. And then the trucks broke down. So they were stuck in traffic for 1 week.
It was Carmageddon.
Yeah. And apparently,
That works on so many levels because like Buddhism and oh wait, no, that's a Hindu thing, right?
Yeah.
Karma?
I didn't know that was the point.
Sorry.
Oh God, ignorance.
But they also cited Sao Paulo during the World Cup because like they were stuck in traffic for like a day because rallies and then a bunch of people want to go to the stadiums.
Oh yeah, I can
It's not
imagine.
exactly a good way to spend most of your working hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show or to you guys at all, but one of the things that I love about the Philippines is that we are so brilliantly mediocre
Yeah.
as far as like nations of the world go.
In
you know?
everything.
Right? Like, we aren't Norway, but we aren't Equatorial Ghana or whatever. you know what I mean? Like the traffic in India supposedly gets really bad. Is there an Equatorial Ghana?
I hope so.
Right? See, again, like wonderfully mediocre. I know some countries,
Certain countries.
but yeah, like we aren't.
So we're not the best.
Yeah,
but we're also not the worst.
We're not the
Yeah,
best,
we
not
don't
the
have
worst.
insane corruption. We aren't say the alleged Afghani corruption.
Yeah.
Right, like those guys are supposedly like wicked corrupt, and on the other end you have say Singapore, right? We aren't Singapore, we aren't Afghanistan. We're sort of in the middle.
Yeah, like our recent FIBA basketball showing, we weren't the worst team, we won one game and everyone was really happy with all of our games. But then again, we're not Spain. Because Spain is clobbering everyone. It's not even US that's clobbering everyone. It's Spain.
Yeah. So as a nation, we are wonderfully mediocre.
Yeah, even in esports that I was telling you about last time. Like, we always have representatives in the international for Dota 2. We never win, but we're not the worst.
Yeah. Mediocrity. It's more fun in the Philippines.
Yeah, we as Filipinos tend to... Well, no. You guys as Manileños.
Oh!
I went there. People here give the Philippines too much credit for sucking. Right? Like, oh, worst traffic in the world. Like, no.
No.
Like, oh, we're the most corrupt. No. You know? Like, we are sort of there. We're not the poorest nation. Right? We don't have people starving to death on an hourly basis. But then at the same time, we don't have rampant obesity.
Yeah.
So we're...
Thing is, though, that's not supposed to make us feel any good or any worse.
Right? Wonderfully mediocre. I don't know.
Pinoy pride.
Yeah, exactly.
We have the best boxer in the world, probably not going to be the best coach in Philippine basketball.
Or...
You never know.
You never know. You never know.
He might be mediocre. I mean, you know, he's no...
Pacquiao's jump shot,
how
though,
is he as a
excellent
politician?
form. As a politician, he makes sense. I mean, when he gets his privilege speech. Because, for me, congressmen should be representative of the people, of course, right?
Yeah.
And when he speaks in behalf of the people of Sarangani, he actually represents them in that manner.
Yeah.
He doesn't put himself in a high horse.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Which is actually nice.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not sure if he actually... What are the laws that he signed or co-authored?
Well, they have people to, you know...
Yeah.
They have people to write their laws for them.
But at the end of the day, it still needs your signature.
Yeah. You know, because... Well, that's the thing about the law. About, like, congressmen and stuff. Like, it's good to have... It's good to have a variety of people. Mm-hmm. As, you know, part of the lawmaking body of the country, course. Right? You can't expect everybody to be exactly the same, etc. You know, it's good to have a hodgepodge, right?
Mm.
Yeah, you know, just a bunch of a slice of society or whatever, like whatever the word is, whatever that metaphor is, but a cross section there, yeah, cross section of society. It's good to have that in the body that makes your laws.
Because again, your laws have to represent
you as they have to represent us as the people that we are, because we are, after all, the government for the people by the people, mm-hmm. right? So what is our government but a reflection of us?
Ah. JAL reviews for the bar exam. Special segment.
Hey, have you guys
bar exam?
Have you guys managed to not hear about the Apple release?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
You managed to avoid that. Wow.
Well, because for them, you know, welcome to 2012. The specs of the iPhone 6.
Hey man, no dude, they're
welcome to 2012.
they're what's it?
It's a Galaxy phone of 2012.
I love that.
It's the processor. I don't think anything is faster than the processor they have in there, the A8.
Technically, also the camera is the only mobile camera that has face detection autofocus. Again, irrelevant to you guys, but it will have the fastest autofocus in a mobile camera.
Like as much as we don't exactly agree with everything that Apple does, you gotta admit. Their hardware is really good.
Like when I saw God. For me, what blew my eyes was like, oh, they managed to put the face detection autofocus on that small sensor of a camera.
Yeah.
Well, wow.
The processor?
And the processor is
tiny. My God. It's gonna get more battery life than the iPhone 5S, which is setting the bar like really low. But yeah, I don't think there's a faster like ARM-based processor out there. Like for phones, like it's the most powerful processor that exists on a phone right now. Well, it hasn't been released yet, but you know,
processing capabilities are
that's not quad-core or octa-core.
Yeah.
But then again, I think the processing speed is the one that's up there. But I don't know. I'm not really technically sure. But I think what I'm sure is that the hardware of that phone looks really good.
Which one?
Of the iPhone 6 and its 3 variants. Plus the watch.
Yeah, the what's it?
The iWatch.
The plus sized iPhone.
I just
They
so
released
many-
a phablet.
What is it about the new size of the iPhone now?
How is it? It's about the size of a note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one's the size of a note, like 5.7. One's 4.7. I think one is 4.
About the size of the note, about the size of something a bit smaller than the note, and the size of the current iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's. I actually like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the idea that phones are getting bigger now.
Why?
Because it's retarded, dude. Or as people from Boston say, it's retarded. Right? Like, how are you supposed to type on like
This tiny thing.
yeah, this tiny thing that's like a touch screen, whatever. You know? Right? It's. I don't like small phones.
Now that I'm using an actual smartphone, that's not an Apple. That was a 3.5 inch before it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's big. It's like I'm getting spoiled because there are times that I just want to look and use like the monitor on my screen rather than boot up a computer or whatnot.
Yeah, but
My phone is
that's the
actually
point,
more
right?
powerful than my laptop. Granted, my laptop was from 2008, so
And
it should be more powerful.
yeah.
Well, it depends. It also depends. Like we talked about this on Third World Linux.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the phone is quad core, but then there's a difference between ARM and x86. x86 is always going to be more powerful in terms of like clock speed. And we have to consider that a smartphone doesn't have as much stuff in it.
And also like GPU.
Yeah, that too.
The GPU of a desktop or a laptop I think will always trump that of a smartphone.
I hope so. It's bigger
It paid more.
and it weighs more.
Yeah, what was it? Because in terms of clock speed, well, the difference between ARM and x86 chips is the the x86 chip has a bunch of functions built into the chip itself. And so, like, every time it goes around one clock cycle, you can do a little bit more complex math. You can multiply. Right? With an ARM chip, if you're going to multiply something, you have to do a bunch of addition. And that's each rotation, one addition. So if you multiply something by 5, on an ARM chip, it goes through 5 pulses. Whereas with an x86 chip, it goes through once. So that's sort of like
Processing capabilities.
the 10,000-foot view of the difference between ARM and x86.
What I'm wondering though with this is, what is up with
What is up? Sorry.
what is up with like transforming phones into wristwatches? Those smartwatch devices.
Because Dick Tracy.
I mean,
Really, Dick Tracy.
what do you mean?
I don't really see her.
For me, it reminds me more of GoldenEye.
Yeah, like Dick Tracy was like a super spy, like a super spy from like a long
He
time
used
ago.
the radio as. Yeah, that's GoldenEye. GoldenEye has a watch laser.
Pew pew.
Go gadget watch.
Hey, Inspector Gadget. Do. Okay. What was it? Because like, you don't want to
have to pull your phone out.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
we're
wristwatches were made obsolete because of the smartphone.
Yeah.
and they're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Via a smartphone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because clearly the phone is too large to pull out of your pocket. So now
Yeah.
you have your wristwatch to give you just if you have notifications. And I don't know why I'm talking like a South Park character.
But yeah, dude, like I can totally see why one would want a smartwatch. Because it's cool.
That's it. It's cool.
And it's functional.
Oh, but then again, everyone was negative about the tablets because, like,
Yeah.
they're gonna
It's
name
too
it an iPad.
huge.
Ooh, like a
Well,
woman's panty liner or something.
It really depends on it depends, I think, on what the watch does, right? Like, of course, it has to like tell the time.
Tell the time.
You gotta be able to see who texted you.
Or call. although the features I like about those smartwatches are the heartbeat monitors.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm alive. Like, the pedometers.
Yeah, pedometers, like for fitness buffs and for those who, like,
point.
Yeah,
but I have heard, a good few people say that, it would be cheaper to just get a pedometer.
Of course, but a pedometer only does pedometing.
Yeah.
You have to carry another one.
Yeah, unless you can find a pedometer that, tells time and notifies you that Bob McJ likes your post or something.
Yeah, or like well, I guess it's because like what's it? You have your 4-inch phone, which was sort of that happy medium where it was big enough to be able to be functional, but small enough such that it wasn't a hassle to pull out of your pocket unless you really needed it.
And now it's growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, now that we have something bigger, that is like your 6-inch phones, you need something smaller to supplement that. So think of it as a secondary screen to your phablet.
Primary screen, yeah. Which is
pretty cool.
And a tertiary screen for your TV.
When Ubuntu comes out, yes. But I can see that. I can see that as like the metaphor for it, or at least like how to put it into terms that we can sort of grok right now. Like it's a secondary screen for your phone because your phone is, after all, a computer.
And I think what Apple is doing, and even Samsung, like with the smart watches, I'm not sure if it was Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. I think it was Steve Jobs who predicted that in the future we'll be using multiple monitors. It makes sense.
I'll wait for the eye gauntlet to come out.
Because it's not necessarily multiple monitors as in multiple monitor setups, but you have your phone as a monitor, you have your watch, you have your Google Glass.
Oh, that sounds like a Mark Shuttleworth thing, dude. Like convergence. Oh man, Ubuntu.
I can't wait until like Ubuntu struck a deal with Motorola, right?
I have no idea.
Oh, you haven't checked that? I think it was way back that Motorola is one of the guys who promised like, yeah, we're gonna come up with Ubuntu phones.
Yeah, but then Dell also said they'd release an Ubuntu laptop, and it kind of sucked. You were better off. Like it was cheaper. It was cheaper to get the same model.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly the same model with Windows on it. Windows is cheaper. You just get rid of Windows and put Ubuntu on it.
Uh-huh.
You had exactly the same spec as the Ubuntu laptop that Dell released, only cheaper.
By how much?
Like I don't know, cheaper, but it doesn't really matter how much cheaper it is because it's still cheaper to get Windows because Windows subsidizes it like nothing else. Right? So,
but how come here one of the makers is like, oh, it's almost 10,000 peso difference?
10,000 pesos?
Well, yeah, well, that's
that's a lot. That's a significant sum of money.
Exactly.
I always thought it was like about $5,000.
It's about
or I think some models are not, because there are models. I guess it's not all the models.
Note how we're not saying the name of the company because they don't sponsor us.
Although we want to, because
we want them to. Filipino tech company, startup-ish, nice, good, support gaming.
Yeah,
support Linux.
Yeah, they have tablets as well.
Yeah,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
It's got everything that's good for the network.
Fuji Instax Y300.
But yeah, like Apple hardware, amazing. Software.
So
iOS 8 comes out a couple of days before they release the iPhone. Third-party keyboard. Finally, I can use swipe.
Again, welcome to 2012. But going back to I'm trying to think of a transition here. What's a transition? Can you check the list?